This video is a review of adding and subtracting fractions. In a fraction, the numerator is the number on top, the denominator is the number on bottom. The steps for adding and subtracting fractions are listed here. Step 1. Make sure that both fractions have a common denominator. That means they are the same. Step 2. Add or subtract the numerators and put the answer over the common denominator. Step 3. Simplify your answer. Okay. So creating common denominators. You're first going to look at the two denominators and determine the least common multiple, which is sometimes just multiplying the two denominators together. And this will be the common denominator. Step 2. Determine what you need to multiply each denominator by to get the common denominator, and also multiply the numerator of each fraction by that same number. Okay. Here are a couple of examples. Okay, first one, 1/2 plus 2/3. We need to create common denominators for 2 and 3, so we're looking at their common multiples. Well, 2 has 2, 4, 6, 8. 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12. So 6 would be a common denominator for both of these, meaning I want to turn the denominator into 6. Okay. I know that I multiply 2 times 3 in order to get 6, meaning I also multiply the numerator by that same value. So 1 times 3 is 3. I multiply 3 times 2 in order to get 6, so I also have to multiply this numerator by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Then I'm going to add the numerators. 3 plus 4 is 7 over the common denominator. This can be reduced. 6/6 is 1 whole, so if I take those away, I'm left with 1/6. So 1 and 1/6. Okay. Here we have 3 and 4. So common multiples of 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12. Multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12. Okay, well they both have a multiple of 12, and that's the smallest one, which I can also just multiply them together and get 12. I have to multiply 3 times 4 in order to get 12, meaning I also multiply the numerator times 4. 2 times 4 is 8. To get the denominator of 12 over here, you multiply 4 times 3. So also multiply the numerator times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Simplify or add 8 plus 9, 17 over 12. Now we can simplify. 17 twelfths, well 12 twelfths is 1 whole. When we take 12 away from 17, we're left with 5 twelfths. Okay, 7/8 minus 3/4. Well, 8 is a multiple of 4, so I can leave 7/8 as a fraction minus 3/4. To make my fourths into eighths, I just multiply it by 2, meaning I also have to multiply the numerator times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. I can subtract numerators. 7 minus 6 leaves me with 1, and bring over the common denominator. Okay, over here we have 2 and 9. Well, I can multiply them together and get 18, and I know that's going to be their least common multiple. So I know my denominators are going to be 18. I'm subtracting. I multiply 2 times 9 to get 18, so I also multiply the numerator by 9. 1 times 9 is 9. I multiply this denominator by 2. 9 times 2 will give me 18, meaning I also have to multiply the numerator times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So I subtract numerators. 9 minus 4 leaves me with 5. And I put it over the common denominator, and it is reduced as much as possible. Okay, go ahead and try these 4 practice problems. Come back when you're ready for the answer, so go ahead and pause it here. All right, so the first one, the common denominator is 15. You would multiply 3 times 5 to get 15, so you also have to multiply the top. 2 times 5 gives you 10. You multiply 5 times 3 to get 15, so the top is also multiplied by 3. 1 times 3 is 3. And when I add, 10 plus 3 gives me 13 over the common denominator of 15. Second one, common denominator is 10. So I multiply 5 times 2 to get 10, meaning I also have to multiply the top times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, I multiply 2 times 5 to get 10, so I also have to multiply the top times 5. 1 times 5 is 5. When I add these, 6 plus 5 gives me 11. Put it over the common denominator. This can be reduced. 10 tenths is 1 whole. If I take 10 away from the 11, I'm left with 1 tenth. So 1 and 1 tenth. Number 3, our common denominator is 40. So I know I'm going to put both of these fractions over 40. To get 40, I multiply 8 times 5, meaning I multiply the numerator times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. To get the denominator of 40, I have to multiply 5 times 8, meaning I also multiply the numerator times 8. 1 times 8 gives me 8. I can subtract. 15 minus 8 leaves me with 7/40. Okay, number 4. Common denominator is 20. Okay, to get 20 from 5, I multiply it by 4. Meaning I multiply the numerator by 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, to get the denominator to be 20 over here, I have to multiply 4 times 5, meaning I also multiply the numerator times 5. Subtract. 8 minus 5 leaves me with 3 over the common denominator of 20.